All right, so this is your ASB Kennedy Diversity Committee coming to you live with Mr. Jeffrey Bibb, and we are here to celebrate and honor National Deaf History Month 2021. And as part of that, we wanted to interview someone from the California School for the Deaf. And we have some questions lined up, and we're going to each sort of take turns so we can jump right into it. Um, Maybe I think it might be good if we can get an introduction from Mr. Bibb, maybe give us a little background information, how long he's been with CSD and what his position is.
Hello, thank you for having me here. He's thankful that you guys are taking and just recognizing the deaf in the community. My name is Jeff Bibbs, and we're working for CSD for around 17 years now. I was born and I grew up in California, and I was a former student at CSD, and he graduated there. And he went to Gallaudet University and then continued studying ASL, social science, and then he became a teacher at CSD. So yeah.
I also forgot to mention that we have our one of our amazing students at Kennedy who is interpreting for us today. So that's also really cool. Thank you, Amber, for your time and your service. So, Mr. Bibb, has CSD ever put on special events about National Deaf History Month? And what advice would you give to people who are beginners in learning ASL? And maybe just if you can give them some context, Amber, we just now uh, offered ASL for the very first time at Kennedy. And so there's been a lot of interest.
There's a lot of questions in one. He'll try to answer the best he can. So first, connected with Deaf History Month, we do celebrate ASL Media Festival for the school-wide event from elementary to high school. And we have students all come over and interact, socialize, and we get to see different ASL actors, and just they all come. And so, for example, so other high schools can come over and they come and visit, and it's nice to celebrate and just of Deaf History Month. They also celebrate Deaf on March 13th around, and they celebrate just recognition and of first deaf presidents in Gallaudet University. We have some history connection with that. Another celebration, we celebrate a celebration of Sign Language Day recognition internationally. And it's just for understanding ASL because it's really American and it's not, there's different sign language there's different types of sign languages all over the world, and it's not just American Sign Language. So we really want to recognize that as well. And then that's the third week of September around on that day. And we recognize, yeah. So we have different ways to recognize the deaf and the language itself. And yeah, we just really want to do that at CSD. And your next question for the new signers, if you want to learn more about sign language and you have a community already here in Fremont that Ohlone, they have a great deaf program, and Cal State East Bay, they offer ASL classes for you guys to take. And really any university, if you guys want to, if you plan to go to university and take ASL, a lot of universities offer this um, at a good level. But when you start learning ASL, you definitely have to try to embrace yourself, like immerse yourself into deaf events and going to deaf events, socializing, using what you learn in class. It's like you're learning a different language, and you have to like you would learn Spanish or French. You can't just learn it in school. You have to learn, and then you have to experience it. So yeah, that's what he would encourage you to do. Yeah, if you're learning.
And so I was wondering how distance learning has had an impact on your school. Like, how has learning changed at CSD?
It's a big difference. Yes, definitely. We're very used to having eye contact, sitting in person and in classrooms. And we're just really accustomed to just making sure that we're always connected and we continue eye contact. And that's really important. Communication with especially him with his students. Um, and now they've suddenly become two-dimensional, you know. So he feels challenged definitely to get connected with students online because you know you're looking at screens instead of seeing them in person. So definitely communication, because not every deaf child has good access to internet or a computer, and they might have to move around or signing, you know. So it's more important that we communicate clearly. Um, Other students might be able to get by with um, blurry blurry vision, but hearing is definitely different on the screen. So some don't have technology access, or others who um, took ASL later in life and they didn't grow up with ASL but are just starting to learn it as well. They have more of a challenge this year facing distant learning.
And then, do you guys have any special like classes or electives that are dedicated to deaf culture and history?
Yes. In high school, we require 2 years of ASL classes that we practice their sign language and culture and history and all that stuff, deaf identity, just deaf pride, just making sure that they're proud that they're deaf and all that stuff. Understanding what it what it is to be deaf person and how to navigate through life like that, out in the outside world, you know. So we definitely do have that class. Same with middle school and elementary school. They offer that ASL class, and so two bilingual classes, so ASL, English as well.
And then, do you have any special connection with Gallaudet University?
Yes. So he graduated from Gallaudet, um, and his mom was a former student at Gallaudet, and he has a small family connection there. So he has a wonderful memories there, attending university, where all the deaf students, they're all deaf. They're all not just from America, but hold on, sorry. They're not just from America, but they're internationally, you know. So it's wonderful to create that community and a good experience. And he definitely, if you ever go to DC or we're going back in person, definitely recommends that you go and visit because not only is it a good culture, but it's also a great campus.
Okay, so that concluded all of the questions that we had for the interview. Ladies, is anything else coming up as you are, you know, as we're sitting here and taking this in?
He's wondering if he could add one more thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today, we have a hot topic. There's a bill in the state of California named SB 692, and it's basically focusing on an LRE, which means basically like restrictive enforcement, and they want all children who are disabled to go back to public schools and not go to state schools. So that is where really a lot of people are concerned about the switch LR to LRE. Like, so yeah, what the hot topic is basically, the bill is trying to get disabled people to go into public schools. That's the hot topic. They're wondering if people who are disabled should would they have to go to public schools, like schools that we go to, for 80% of the day. And that's the challenge for the deaf community right now, because our our curriculum right now is about language and not really like physical barriers, you know. So now, because right now we have 46 different countries that at CSD, and we offer a lot of kids maybe will go back to their school area alone, or with one other person instead of coming to CSD. And so they encourage you to check out that bill today after watching this video. Just if you have any concerns, because that's something that's really important in their community, and something that the Fremont community should be aware of, because that would mean a lot of people from CSD would be losing their students.
Well, we appreciate your time and for just allowing us to, ask you these very random questions. Um, and
He said thank you.
yeah, thank you. I know that much.
He said thank you for trying to be a part of the diversity committee, and we think that what you're doing is really great things. And he's already shared his thanks for you guys, but he really wants it again. Thank you to Alana for contacting him, and yeah.